Hello and welcome to our classroom. And it is time for some writing, boys and girls. So I have gathered some of my writing tools that I need, and I have my tablet or my paper. I have my pencil, and I have one big eraser. And I also have a box of crayons and a couple other things here that I plan to use today as I begin and get ready to write. But because I have to do this on a video, I'm worried that when I write, you're not going to be able to see my pencil. So normally we talk about writers using a pencil because then if you don't like what you see, if you're not happy with what you wrote, you can always erase it. And if you make a lot of errors and things you want to fix up, you could use the big eraser. But for today, so that I want you to be able to see the words, I'm going to use a marker. Now, I'm going to stop and think and take my time so that, well, if I make a mistake, I can't erase this. But if I make a mistake, well, I'll do my best to fix it with some magic tape or I'll cross it out. But because as we learn how to be writers, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to try and show what you know as a writer. So today we're going to think about, we've been reading about senses. We've been thinking about all of the things that we can learn about in our world around us through our eyes and our ears, our mouth, our nose, our taste, and our touch. So I want to think about this time of year is such a beautiful time because the leaves are changing and nothing makes my heart any happier than to drive down the road, drive to school, drive home from work, or even look out our classroom window and see the trees and the colors and all the pretty shades of autumn that we see in the world around us. So that's what I'm going to write about today. So that's my big idea. So, and you know what? I had to stop and I had to think. And that's what gave me the idea. I love the trees. I love to see the trees. So when I came up with that idea, it's like, boom, that's it. So as a writer, the first thing I'm going to do is I got my idea. I see the pretty leaves on the trees because it is fall. That's my big idea. Now, am I going to write all that? Well, I don't know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the idea in my head and I'm going to plan. All right. So the first thing that might help me to get started will be to begin my picture. So, and if I hope you can see it on the camera, but I have a picture box and I'm going to try my best to draw a picture that goes from top to bottom and corner to corner because, well, I don't want to make a little teeny tiny tree down here in the corner and like you have to like get out the magnifying glass to see it. I want to fill the picture box as best as I can. Now, am I an artist? No, that's Mrs. Corson's job. She's the one in our school who can draw, but I will try my best using shapes that I know. So I think a tree has a big, tall trunk, and I'm going to have to hold this so I can show you. So there's the tree. Yeah, like a tall triangle. And a tree has, well, some of the trees that I see right now are big and full, but a lot of the trees, the leaves are starting to come off of, so I'm seeing the branches up in the top. So maybe I'll just draw some of the big branches. Now, all right, I'm not sure if those are showing up, but and there's sticks and there's all kinds of trees just go every which way. So that's what I think of when I see that. So there's my tree trunk. And of course, I see leaves, and I see the leaves are hanging off the tree. And yeah, I'll just draw a bunch of different leaves wherever I want to put them. All right, and then some of the leaves are falling. So I can show a couple of the leaves falling off the tree. And then there's lots and lots of leaves on the ground. So I can fill my ground with lots of leaves. So I don't want to take all the time. The most important part of the story is actually the writing. So I would use my crayons, and in this case, I'm going to use markers because I love to color with markers, and markers, oh, boys and girls, uh-oh, that was orange and it turned out to be gray. I don't think that marker's working very well, but so I'll dig out some other colors and I'll color in my leaves of my trees, and not all of them are going to be orange. So maybe I'll have to look into my box of markers and find some brown. Maybe I'll color some of the brown tree. But I'm going to fill it up with as many different colors as I think I want to put on my picture. But, you know, there's other things happening in the picture too. There's a sky. The sky's at the top. That's blue. So, and, you know, I'm going to try to stay in the picture box. And I'll just color the blue sky. And, well, that doesn't show up very well on the camera. But if you look at it, and I'll show you a picture of it in the classroom. I could have some green grass down on the ground, and maybe I'm in the tree, or maybe I'm not in the tree. Mrs. Welliver doesn't climb trees, but I might see a tree. So I might draw myself over here because after all, my story is going to say I can see a tree. So I got to get my eyes there, my nose, my ears. Oh dear. Well, and my body, and of course my legs with my feet sort of went out of the picture box. Fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Mrs. Welliver is looking a little lopsided, but hey, you know what? That's okay. I tried my best, and that's all you have to do as a writer. So there you go. There's my picture. I'll color my hair, I color my clothes, I color the ground, and I'll finish that later. But right now I want to get my big idea for my story in my head. So what am I thinking about? What am I thinking about? I want to write a story that has to do with my sense of sight and what I see. And what do I see? I see a fall tree. I see a fall tree. Well, boys and girls, like I tell you in class that, you know, a singer, which I know you've mentioned some of your favorite singers, they don't go out on stage in front of the big audience the first time and start singing their song. No, they rehearse it. They get it right in their head first. They make a plan. They figure it out. And after they're done figuring it out and they're happy, then they pick up the microphone and they head on out to that stage. So I've got to get my story straight in my head. And let me think. I can see the fall tree. I can see the fall tree. I can see. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I'm ready to write. Now, when I'm getting ready to write, I'm going to need my pencil, but you can use your pencil. I would normally use a pencil, but because I'm on the camera, you can't see the lines. So I'm going to use my marker again, and I'm going to think, I can see the fall tree. Now, that's what I wanted to say. So I'm going to get started with the word I. Now, I am learning words. You're learning words. And I'm a grown-up and I know a lot more words than you do. However, we have words on the word wall. Word wall words are words that are there to help us. We can see them, we can read them, and we can write them fast. So here's a few. I'll try to keep my list there. And if I need to go back and look at that, it's there for me as a resource. So I'm going to start on the left and I'm going to go to the right. And then if I need more room, I'll go back to the left because a writer writes from right to left to right. Sorry, I'm backwards here. I'm looking at it and it's like, wait, that's not right. No. So I'm going to start on the left side, left to right, and left to right again. And now I'm going to write I, get it down there, I Now, in between words, we put a finger space. A finger space is just that, a finger space. I can use my eyes and kind of like visualize how big is my finger, or I can put my finger there and think, oh, I've got to go over on the other side of where my finger is, and I'm going to write the word can. Can's a word wall word, boys and girls. Can. And can. I'm going to write the letters I know, can, because I've practiced that. We've practiced that in the classroom. I can see. See, that's the word we're learning this week. See. S, S. Now I need a finger space, and then I'm going to write E. I'm stretching that word out slowly, and I'm going to write down, I hear an E, and I know because I've seen that word before that it has two E's. So I got to make sure I've got it spelled correctly. So now I'm going to just go back and check and make sure I'm on the right track. I can see. Good. The. The is a word. The only time you're allowed to stick your tongue out at a teacher is when you say a word that has a sound at it, in it. The. And that's on our word wall chart too. I don't know if you can see it back there, but the. T-H-E. And I'm really trying my best to keep my letters. The only big tall letter I've needed so far is the capital I. All the others are lowercase. I can see the fall. Fall. Now, fall is the name of a season. And I can put a capital F there because it's a special time. Fall. I can see the fall tree. Tree. And if I changed my sentence from what I started, that's okay, because sometimes you change your ideas in the middle of what you're doing, but I'm still writing. My big idea is the tree, so that's what I'm going to stay focused on. I can see the fall tree. T, top, t. See, if you remember that sound that letter T makes when we look at our picture cards, it will help you as a writer to write any word you want to write. Letter R. Tree. If I say it slowly and I hear the sound, E again. Oh, this is just like in the word see. Tree also has two E's. Now, I want to check that sentence. Again, if I change my sentence, it's okay because I've still got the big idea, my tree. I can see the fall tree. I can see the fall tree. Okay, I think I did it. I think I thought about my idea, got it on in my brain, then I put it on my paper. I tried my best. I used my word wall words, and the words that I did not know, we say them slowly and stretch them out just like David did with his bubble gum. But there's there's two more things I need to do. Boys and girls, I'm done. So I need to let you know that I'm done by putting the period here at the end. A period is like a stop sign. Tells the reader, hey, you're done. There's no more to read. Now, the other thing I forgot, and this should have been the first thing I did, boys and girls, who's the author? Who wrote the story? Well, you might have been helping me in your brain, but I'm the one that held the pen. I'm the author, so my name needs to go up at the top so that, well, maybe this could be a story that I could write more about. Maybe this could be a story that I could write a whole lot of information. just like, well, I did have my favorite Pete the Cat book here. Oh, I see it. Just like the author who wrote Pete the Cat. They had one idea, they kept going with it, and they turned it into a book. So without the author signing their name, they wouldn't have known who was responsible for that story. So boys and girls, there you have it. My story is done. I could get my crayons and go back and I can color and I can make all the details. And I did my top to bottom and corner to corner with my picture. Could I write, what do I hear next? Stay tuned. Maybe we'll come back and do that again. I would like you to gather up a piece of paper or take the piece of paper from your packet from the week, and I want you to write a story. And boys and girls, it's okay if you can't write every single word. If you don't know how to spell it, write what you think you hear. Use your alphabet chart. Use what you know. Look in your Rise and Shine binder and find the alphabet chart. And hey, give it a try. Write down the letters and sounds. And grown-ups, if you're there, it's really important that they hear the words, they write down the sounds. Even if it's not quite the right sound, right now as writers, many of us are building our confidence. Many of us, we don't need to know how to spell everything. We don't want to worry about it being correct, because worrying about being correct and right all the time, well, that doesn't help us to build our confidence. And that's what it's all about right now, is learning how to write as best as we can. And as we write more and more, it'll come. Those words will come. We'll know how to spell every single word, even the word like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I learned to spell that when I was in 4th grade, and it's still in my brain. You want to hear? Well, maybe next time. All right. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Happy writing. I can't wait to read your stories.